he's trying to put the jewelry in, and like it won't go through my nose. And he's like shoving it, and he's like, okay, like hold on. So he pulls the needle out. He's like, I'm just gonna try and get it through like without the needle. So then he tries that. Nope, wouldn't go through. And then he's like, I was like, if you need to stab me again, it's fine. It really wasn't that bad. And he's like, yeah, let me just get through it again. And then so we do it again. He's putting the jewelry in again. Finally gets it through. Hurt like a bitch. He's like, your septum's really thick. I was like, thanks. And basically, look at like the tip of my nose is like swollen. Like it's like, I don't know. But so we get the jewelry in, and it's like the horseshoe, like, you know, in the two balls at the end right here. Like everything was cleaned up. Like I got in my car and I looked at it, and like when I started moving my face and like talking, they were like sliding up into my nose. Like it was too small. And I was like, I feel like he pierced this like really high, like, which I still think he did. I don't know. Somebody tell me if that's normal. But I feel like he pierced it like really high, like up in my nose. I wish I could like show you guys like where it's like pierced. I don't know where the normal place is to pierce it. So I walk back in, and I was like, I think we need to switch to jewelry because like this is too small. Like it's like when I start talking, like it's going all the way up into my nose. And so he checked it, and he was like, yeah, like it's swollen right now, so we'll switch it, and then if you want to go back to it. So then we had to change it again, which means I had to get stabbed again to put this one in. And even this one, like when I do this, like to like pull my lips down or anything, like it pulls so hard on like this part. Like I don't know if that's normal or like where it's supposed to fall, but like mine doesn't like really come out that much. Like, does that make sense? Like it doesn't hang unless I do like this, then it does. Like I don't know if people just have like different noses, but like it's fine. I still like it, but I wanted it to be like more down, like where it hangs more, where you can see it. But yeah, I got stabbed 3 times in my nostril, so my nose is kind of sore. But it really doesn't hurt that bad, to be honest. Like the healing, like I can't feel it unless I'm like moving around a lot. Just swollen. So do you think it'll drop? Like, do you think it'll like loosen up and fall a little bit? Maybe buy a bigger ring. This thing is huge. The actual ring. Sorry if you can see my boogies, but like, I think it's big. Like, it should go to a different piercing place and ask. That's what I was honestly going to do. I was going to be like, is this too high? Because I don't know. He said he was like good at it. And then like HTC is usually where I get my piercings done because they're really clean and they're really like good with their shit. Like, might have to get it done a 4th time. Guys, actually help me. My septum looks hella high too. Okay, so maybe it's just like my nose. Like, I got this hoodie from Target. When I first got it done, the actual piece was so small. Like, but this doesn't, kind of looks high though. I know, that's what I'm saying. Like, it looks tucked up there. I'm gonna have to go get it redone. That fucking sucks. But I need to wait till this heals because, like, I'm gonna give it a few weeks, let it see if it settles. But, like, eventually I feel like I'm probably gonna have to get it redone because it's a little... Sorry, it's my doctor. My doctor was trying to call and schedule an appointment. What is the red light challenge? I don't even know what that... I got mine done before. It was the same. You put in a bigger piece of jewelry when it heals. Oh, okay. You're the best. Thank you. I've been really worried about it. Because my shit got fucked up and I didn't want to be for no reason. What if I did that? Call my phone when you're home. Hey, mamacita, hey, mamacita, hey. Drew. How are you today? Just tired. I don't really know. No feelings. I don't have any. Sometimes if I think hard enough, I can just turn them off. So, they're off. What's your next tattoo idea? I actually need to call my tattoo artist today and see if she has any openings this week for my dagger. No, I didn't have time to get my tattoo yesterday, so I just got the piercing, but I'm going to schedule an appointment this week for the dagger, so I really need to pick a spot because... and a design. Also, I put my merch back up on my Instagram story if you guys want to check it out. Like, I wanted to... that's the reason why I came on here, because I wanted to talk about it, like, since, like, new people have came and are on my page now, and, I put the link in my Instagram story. But yeah, like, I want to talk about, like, what it means to me, so I made that merch after I got out of the hospital. And, like, by the way, if you're, like, new here, like, I'm going to tell you right now, like, I'm very super honest about my life and about the things that I go through. Like, I don't want to hide anything. I don't want to, like, act like my life is perfect just because it's on social media. And I want to make sure you guys know that, like, people can, like, it's okay to look normal on the outside and not feel normal on the inside. So, basically, I made this merch after I got out of the hospital, probably a couple weeks after, because when I was in the hospital, I had this, like, revelation, about the fact that what I really wanted to do with my life, and, like, I was waiting for so long to, like, have this big epiphany, like, of, like, what I really, like, wanted to do, and, like, how I was going to help, and how I was going to contribute to the world, and whatever, blah, 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 like, all the cliches and stuff, and basically, when I checked myself in to get help for my mental health, it saved my life, and, like, genuinely, and I don't, I don't say that lightly, like, it saved my life, like, going there. So when I got out, I, like, realized, or when I was in there, I realized that, like, I really wanted to make sure that everybody had availability and, what's the right word? That like, the help for mental health was available to as many people as possible. Because when I was in the hospital, there was a lot of people, like, we had a bunch of groups, and a lot of people were, like, could barely afford being in there, and knew that their bills were going to be crazy when they got out, didn't have insurance, and it was, like, really upsetting. And so when I got out, I, like, realized that, and I know I've talked about this before, but I don't know if everyone knows, like, what I really genuinely want to do with my life is create a clothing brand that is completely based on mental health help. And eventually, once that brand takes off, I want to transition it into a nonprofit so that I can help families that are struggling when it comes to mental health and don't have the ability to pay for it. I want to be able to help those families out, and, like, help kids that need it and can't get the help that they, like, need because of the fact of their financial status. Like, that should never be the case, and I hate the fact that I even have to, like, would even have to do that, but America is a place where free healthcare is probably pretty far from becoming a thing. So, yeah, so that's what I want to do. So the reason why I made that merch is because I wanted to see, like, I kind of wanted to put my vision to, like, a test and see what would happen with it. So I made merch, and the idea is stay alive. And it's because when I was going through the worst times of like my depression and my anxiety, and couldn't really figure it out. It does ship internationally, yeah. Couldn't really figure it out, and it was what I would tell myself every day. Like, anytime things got really, really bad, or like throughout the night, if I couldn't sleep, and I would just be like, which was most nights I didn't sleep, and I would sit there and say, you just have to stay alive another day. Like, just stay alive another day. Stay alive another day. Like, it's gonna be okay. It's gonna get better. Stay alive. Like, I'm not gonna see it get better if I don't. So, like, I would repeat that to myself. So I made merch based off stay alive, and in hopes that somebody would see it, and I think knowing the meaning behind it makes it a little bit more like important, maybe to somebody who wears it, you know, as a reminder if they're going through a hard time. And so yeah, like the faster I get this out, which when I put it out, I didn't really have any traction on my main account. It was shadow banned, it was dying, and now that I have this one, and like I have so many of you that are so supportive and like so amazing, like I really feel like this could jumpstart like what I ultimately want to do, which is create my own brand and like really start to help people and like help families, and make this big. At this point I'm making this my main, like it's about to fucking jump over my my other one. So yeah, my merch is up. Stay Alive merch is up on my Instagram story right now. You can just swipe up if you want to. If you just want to check it out, that's cool too. But yeah, I have beanies, I have shirts, I got crew necks, I got sweatshirts, and then if there's anything else you guys want me to add, like let me know, because I can just reach out to the merch company and see what they can do. But yeah, that's the story behind it. And if anybody else is feeling that way or is struggling to get help, like I used to hate it when people would say this to me, but like it is going to be okay. And times in this world are tough, but they're changing, and things are moving, and they're getting better, and we're entering such a beautiful part of life, like where there's struggle and where there's like heartache and where there's pain and loss and all those things, on the other side of it is always something better. So this world has seen a lot of that in the last year and a half, or close to a year and a half, and I know a lot of us have seen it too, whether it's like in our families, in ourselves, in our mental health. Like it's been a rough one, but like I'm proud of everybody like for sticking it out, and I'm proud, like if you like said you needed help, like I'm so proud of you for standing up for yourself and fighting for yourself, because you're the only one that really can. So yeah, that's the end of my rant. I just wanted to let you guys know that my merch was up on my Instagram story. And if you guys do buy some, like totally post it. Like post your little confirmations, because I love reposting them and like spreading it. Like it's so sick. So just like tag me in your Instagram stories. Like post your confirmations, but please don't forget to like black out your address if it's in there, so I can like repost you guys and stuff, because that's dope. Notice me, please. Hi, I see you. Sorry, I'm done talking. I'm gonna read these now. Can the merch get shipped to Germany? Yeah, the merch does ship everywhere. I think the only place, which I absolutely hate and I'm trying to get figured out, is right now is not shipping to Mexico for some reason. So I mean, like I said, like try it out, like put your address in, see if it does. But it should ship everywhere else internationally, like everywhere, Europe, Asia, like. Is that how you met Jack? Yeah, actually, I met Jack in the hospital. We were both in there at the same time. And he became my absolute best friend. Have you thought about putting the dagger in Sylvester? Yeah, like up him. Yeah, I think that would be sick. I just like can't decide if that's what I want to do, or if he's like shaped the right way to do it, you know? I don't know. Where's Daisy? Daisy had to go home to Jack. He took her back. It does ship to the Philippines, I'm pretty sure. Hi from Rome. Hey. Oh, and if you don't want to go to my Instagram, the link is, I'm pretty sure I put the link in this account for my merch. I'm pretty sure it's in my bio. Where's Trevor? Trevor's napping at the end of my bed right now. It's like the first time he's been able to like sleep in my bed lately, so he's taking advantage. Bonjour. Hi from Italy. Hi. Mexico. And I want to buy some merch. Yeah, see, you know what? I'm going to DM them today and see if they change their policy. I don't know why. Like, I genuinely don't know why. But to be honest with you, if I can't, if they can't figure it out for the sake of it, like, I think I can look at my contract and see when I can switch to a different merch company. Like, I love TC Social so much. They've been so crazy, like, good. But I do want, like, people in Mexico to be able to buy it, so. I'm taking a poll for my statistical class. Do you support law enforcement, please? Yes, neutral, no. I'm pretty neutral about it. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, I'm all for Black Lives Matter. Like, I'm all for the fact that police brutality is completely out of control. Yeah, I don't know. That's a hard question to answer. I don't want to say I don't even want to say neutral. Like, I do, I do and I don't at all at the same time. I think that law enforcement has a lot of work to do in becoming a positive thing in our country. Because right now they're very uneducated, and yeah, I don't know. I don't want to get in trouble for talking about this. Any advice for people struggling to ask for help? Those are the hardest words to say. Like, genuinely. Like, looking at your parents or your family or whoever you're with, your friends, and being like, I need help. Like, those are the hardest words to get out. And I am with you, and I totally understand. But, like, when I'm telling you, like, the day that I, like, looked at my mom and said, like, I need to go somewhere, like, I need real help, was probably, like, one of the hardest days of my life. But at the same time, like, the drive to the hospital, like, it was so scary, and, like, I'm not trying to, like, freak you out. It was terrifying, but at the same time, I had this, like, sense of calm of, like, holy shit, like, I could really be getting better after this. And it was, like, almost this sense of relief and this sense of, like, a weight lifted off my shoulders. Like, I didn't have to carry it by myself anymore. Like, people were gonna know. And then, like, when I got to the hospital, like, everybody, like, I don't know, like, people think that they're gonna be looked at strange and stuff like that. But, like, you get in there and you realize that there's so many people struggling with the exact same thing that you're struggling with. And I think that's the hardest part of any kind of mental health, is, like, you feel so alone. Like, when you're going through it, like, you feel so by yourself. Like, nobody gets it. Like, nobody around you understands, which is probably true. Like, the people around you, they don't get it because they're not going through it. But then all of a sudden you throw yourself into a group of people that, like, you say something, you're like, oh, like, they're like, oh, I felt that before. Or, like, oh, I'm feeling that right now. Like, oh, I totally get you. Like, I am with you. And, like, your heart, like, genuinely just, like, cracks open, and you're like, holy shit. Like, you can breathe because you know that you're not alone. So, like, I guess keep that in mind. Like, when the scary feeling is, like, in you, and you're like, fuck, I can't ask for help. Like, people are gonna look at me weird, blah, 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 blah. Like, it's so normal. And that's what I'm trying to do. Like, that's what I'm trying to get people to realize is, like, especially now, like, in the day and age that we live in with social media and, like, technology in our phones, like, and what's going on with, like, COVID, and, like, the fact that we literally, like, our lives changed in, like, a second. Everyone's lives changed in a second. Like, even if you were, like, just staying, like, things were the same, like, the world changed. Like, there's a universal consciousness, like, that just shifted into this place of, like, being stuck. And so, like, I'm telling you right now, like, you're not alone. There's so many people that understand. Like, I literally, like, before I was on this live, I just got off the phone with my psychiatrist, and, like, there is help. Like, there's help for a reason, you know? Like, you go to the hospital if you broke your leg. Like, you go to like get help if you like had a heart condition, or like you had problems with your liver. Like, all of these things are normal, and our brains are the most important and confusing and like the most confusing functioning thing, and we barely even know anything about it still to this day. And like, mental health is becoming like such a like normal thing now. Like, I do want to start a podcast. I think that'd be dope. Actually, I think I'm going to do that. I think I'm going to actually make that my goal in the next couple weeks, is just to like get that up and running. And you guys can give me ideas of what you want to hear me talk about. But yeah, like, it's such a normal thing. And like, our brains are such an amazing organ. Like, it's still an organ in our body. It's the most complicated organ in our body. And it's funny because it's the one we know the least about. I mean, don't get me wrong, we know a lot about it, but we don't know enough. But like, things are getting better when it comes to research and science, and things like are really improving, and I want to keep that ball rolling as much as I can. Like, I know I'm like one person, but like, I also know that the more I talk about it and the more people that hear me, like, that maybe they'll be more comfortable to talk about it too, and like their experiences. But yeah, like, I struggled with anxiety for a while. Got it under control, went to therapy, got it under control, and I was doing well. But then COVID hit and life changed, and my dad got diagnosed with cancer, and I went through a breakup, and like, my grandpa died, and it's like all these things, like all these normal life things, right, that millions and millions and millions of people all around the world go through all the time, like death and change and heartache, and all of a sudden you're scared of things, like, and you're afraid. And then I'd never struggled with depression before, so my anxiety got bad, and then all of a sudden I was like feeling this different thing, and I was like, I've never felt this before. And I was confused at first, and all of a sudden I was like, oh my god, I'm going crazy. Like, and I don't know, like, I was so paralyzed and scared of feeling the way that I was feeling. And I was like, no one else gets it. Like, no one feels this way. But then I asked for help, and I realized, like, there's a whole branch of medicine dedicated to this. And I'm not talking about, like, strokes and seizures and hemorrhaging and aneurysms and tumors and brain cancer, whatever it is. Like, I'm like, yeah, that's part of it, but there's a whole part of medicine that is dedicated to, like, the way that we express ourselves and the way that our feelings express themselves and manifest inside of us. And like, it's not for no reason. So yeah, I know it's hard to ask for help, but do it. If you need it, do it. Because times have been tough. Is your dad okay now? Yeah, he's doing a lot better. He was diagnosed back in October 2019 with stage 3 pancreatic cancer. One of the most deadly cancers that you can get in the world. And he beat it. And honestly, and the funny thing is the reason why he beat it is because of his mindset. Like, and that's what, like, it leads me back to my point of how important it is to be good up here in order for you to continue to live a physically healthy life. But yeah, it was terrifying, you know. It was still scary, but like, he came home every day from chemo, and like, we went with him, and he'd come home and he'd be like, you know what, today was a good day. And like, I still remember the time that, this is a cool story, so I'm going to tell it. I'm sorry if you guys are like annoyed of me talking, but I just like want to tell it because I love this story. So my dad had two months of chemo, and he was really lucky, and he got into this, like, it wasn't an experimental thing. They knew it worked, but it was hard to get into the program. But he was just bad enough to be able to make it. And so he was taking this really aggressive chemo. It started with an F. I forget what the chemo was actually called, but he was taking this really aggressive chemo medication. And we'd sit in the hospital for like 8 to 10 hours, and he would just be getting his chemo, and I'd watch it wipe him out. And so that was for 2 months we did that. And then he had his first scans to see like how the tumor was doing in his pancreas and if it was shrinking and stuff. And they were expecting like maybe at max like a 25% shrinkage, but so we're sitting at home, and he went to go get his scans with my stepmom, and me and my sister and my family are obviously like fucking anxious as shit and trying to be positive. And all this stuff. And I remember sitting at the kitchen, like, stool counter thing in my house, and he walks in the garage, and he walks in with this look on his face, and I was, like, already crying, because I was just, like, afraid of what he was going to say. And he, like, took his mask, like, off, because he had to wear a mask before. Masks were even mandated because of the chemo and stuff. But he took his mask off, and he had this grin under it, and I was like, is it good? Was it good? And we're all like, tell us. And he goes, I knew it. He's like, I knew it'd be okay. And so he looks at us, he goes, it shrunk over 50%. And the doctors were, like, completely, like, had no idea, like, how it was even possible. They were like, we were not expecting anything above 25, like, max. So his tumor shrunk 50%. Everything that had kind of spread to his lymph nodes around his pancreas was gone. And yeah, like, it was one of the best days ever. And so it's like, but the reason why that happened is because he never said it wasn't going to be okay. Like, he always said, like, it's going to be fine. Like, he looked at me, he's like, I'm not worried. Like, and I knew deep down he was, but, like, he had this idea that as long as he knew he was going to be okay, he would be. And, like, that perspective alone, like, was what helped me get through my hard times. Because it was, like, as long as I continue to think that I'm going to be okay and I get the help necessary. Like, that's the other thing. People used to tell me, like, because the whole, like, law of attraction, manifestation, whatever, like, you tell yourself you're okay, you tell yourself that you're rich or you have this car or whatever, like, if you think these things, they come true, right? But you have to also have aid to doing that. If my dad just sat there and thought, like, oh, I'm going to be okay, but he didn't go get his chemo and he didn't go do his radiation, he didn't listen to, like, the doctors and stuff like that, like, you know? So, I don't know. If you're sitting there and you're like, I keep trying to be positive and I'm being grateful and I'm doing all these things but nothing's changing. Okay, continue to do those things, but there's other things too that can aid, you know? Like, I don't know. You break your arm, you put a cast on, but they're like, oh, you need surgery. And you're like, nah, I'll just think I'm okay. Like, there's things that need to be added to our healing. And if you need to add a medication, or if you need to go to therapy, or if you need to check yourself in and get some help, like, that's okay too. Like, I don't know. Certain people in my life used to make me think that I just wasn't trying hard enough to be positive. And I wasn't trying hard enough to change my mindset and think differently. But, like, when we're stuck in that rut and our brains chemically or there's something going on up here and we're lacking something, like, it's okay to get help for that too. I'm done with that. I know that was a lot, but I hope it, like, helped. Our lives are so similar. My mom was diagnosed in October too. I'm very sorry for that. And I know exactly how you feel. Like I said, not alone. You know, that's one of the first things my dad said. He calls us and he's like, you need to come home. And I'm at work and I'm like, he wouldn't be calling me. And at first I thought that something happened with my grandpa because he was sick at the time too. And so I'm running to my boss's office and I'm like, I gotta go. And she's like, what? And I'm like, I'm so sorry. Like, my dad called me and told me I need to leave. He would never do that if it wasn't serious. Like, I need to go. So I'm driving as fast as I can to get home. And so he told us, and after we got done crying, because we cried a lot, and I, like, vomited because I was, like, so sick. After all of us calmed down, he looked at me and I'm like, this is the reason why I know my dad is, like, he's one of the best people I've ever met. Like, and I'm not just saying that because I'm his daughter and I'm biased. He looked at me and goes, hey, at least you'll be able to empathize with people that have gone through this before. Like, at least you'll be able to help other people. And I looked at him and I said, who are you? Like, okay, you fucking messiah. Like, he was like, one of the first things he thought about was the fact that I was going to be able to, like, help others. And, like, be able to talk to people, like, that went through the same thing. And I'm like, you, like, precious human. But yeah, no, I'll never forget that. Ever. That's, like, ingrained in my brain. And I'm glad that I have that, like, from that day. Because it was one of the worst days. But at the same time, like, it was awesome. Like, hearing him be able to, like, say that in the midst of, like, someone telling him he, like, was probably going to die. You know, my dad's the best. Honestly, That would be dope. If I started a podcast and I brought my dad on every once in a while, like, he is so full of wisdom. Like, this man, like, I don't know. Like, I can't even explain it. Like, I'm just gonna have to start a podcast and you guys are gonna have to listen. Or maybe I'll go live with him one day and, like, see if he wants to just talk. But he's always like, you need to retweet my tweets. And I'm like, well, I'll retweet them if they're worthy. He's like, I don't tweet anything unless it's tweet worthy. And I'm like, you know what? You're right. Is your song on TikTok yet? No, not yet. So technically, cancer-free, when it comes to pancreatic cancer, you technically can't be cancer-free unless you're, like, free of any kind of cancerous cells in your body for 5 years, because it does have an 80% return rate. So they're constantly checking. So you're not in remission. I think that's the right word, right? You're not technically in remission until 5 years after being cancer-free. I say he's cancer-free because he is cancer-free, and he will stay cancer-free. Thank you for opening up. Absolutely. That's like I don't know. I never want to be, like, closed off to this, like, part of my life. You guys should be able to, like, see the real stuff. So you write music. I do. Did you get your dagger tattoo? Not yet. I'm going to try and get in this week. You have such a beautiful mind. That is my favorite compliment. A podcast would fit you so well. It's true, because I legit love to talk. Did you and Liv break up? Yes, we did. Still friends. Still love her to death. She just needs her time and her space, and that's cool. Whatever she needs. No, he's in remission. He currently doesn't have cancerous cells in his body. Yeah, so that is technically true. But like I said, with pancreatic cancer, they changed the remission status to 5 years at being cancer-free because of the fact that like, reoccurrence of the cancer is very high. Like, it's a very, like, high percentage that it could come back, but it's not going to. So, like I said, I say he's cancer-free. Where would you like to travel after COVID? So many places. So many places. I'm like, very lucky that I'm vaccinated right now. And that's another thing I'm going to say. They're opening up vaccines to everybody right now, at least here. And I think other states are about to start soon. If you can get your vaccine, like, do it. Like, please do it. And I'm not trying to, like, push my views on anybody. But it's science. Like, let science be true. I'm getting mine tomorrow. I can't wait, honestly. Like, it's such a freeing thing. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm still being safe, for sure, because, like, you can still carry COVID with the vaccine. But luckily my mom is getting her second dose soon, so is your music on Spotify? Yes, it is. Sei bellissima. Bellissima. Ciao bella. Buongiorno. I can say a few things in Italian. Have you had your second dose? Yes, I did. Did you get sick from the vaccine? I did on my second dose, but it lasted like a day, and then the next day I had, like, a headache. That was it. But yeah, I mean, I did get sick, and it's a good thing. It's actually, like, a really good thing if you have symptoms after your vaccine, because it means that it's working. They're still giving it out in age groups in the UK. All right, well, at least it's getting there. What'd you get from Dunkin'? A caramel iced coffee with cream and sugar. Get Cash App so people can send you money. I have Venmo and PayPal. My Venmo is literally Olivia, capital O, dash, not underscore, but dash, and then Panacci with capital P. Pretty sure my Cash App is the same thing, but without the dash. Can you write a song now? We can help. I started one the other day, but it kind of hurt my feelings, so I don't want to. I don't have Venmo in Canada. Well, yeah, I have Cash App. I do have Cash App. I'm pretty sure my Cash App is literally just Olivia Panacci, capital O, capital P. Where'd you buy your rings? These are Target. Oh my god, my nose. You have the dual citizenship. I don't. So I have citizenship in Canada, and then I have my green card here, so I'm a permanent resident, which I have to renew like every 10 years. Everything's from Target. I love Target. I got these sweatpants from Target too. Don't fuck with me. Did the septum hurt? Yeah, I mean, it didn't hurt. The first piercing didn't hurt, but the fact that he had to stab me 3 times, yeah, it hurt. Are you trying to go to med school? No. Can you show me how you did your hair? Oh, but it looks so good right now. Can I show you guys later when it falls down and I have to redo it? What music do you listen to? If you know Phoebe Bridgers, like, that's the style of music that I listen to. But I hate to say, like, the whole, like, I listen to everything, but I do. Usually. What's my favorite number? 23. Ironically. It was my, soccer number for, like, growing up. I don't use your other account. I don't know. Honestly, like, I want to try and go live on there and see what happens. I'm just telling you guys, like, I literally would post on there and get, like, 600 views. And I'd be like, what? And it just stopped. So I just stopped using it and I just made this one. How many kids do you want to have? 2 or 3? Stop picking your lips. I will when I'm not stressed. Gonna find you at the beach in LA, bring beers. I think I'm gonna go to LA this weekend maybe. I might just buy a plane ticket and go because I don't want to sit here all week. So if anybody's in LA and wants to house me, DM me. 23. Are you joking? I'm not joking. It's been my favorite number my entire life, so it's not like I just picked it because of that. I don't know why I would either way. Can I speak Italian? Italian? Can you speak Italian? Not really. I can just say, like, small words. I can't, like, make a sentence. Should come to Belgium. That sounds amazing. What's your favorite color? Orange or yellow. Angela? Yeah, she's my friend. Thank you for the birthday cake. Can you say something in Greek? I cannot. Have I ever been to Amsterdam? No, but that is on my list of places that I would like to go. Eventually. I'm cold. Can't do that. Where's the necklace from? Which one? This one is, I forget what it was called. My sister got me these. She has another one, and it's, like, through thick and through thin. So she has a thicker bar, and I have the thin one, so it's, like, through thick and thin. And then this, like, little moon symbol thing is Brandy. And then this necklace, I think, is just, like, it's just a gold chain, like that one of my friends got me for my birthday. No, I didn't get them from Target. These are actually, like, nice. Gold or silver? Gold, always. I have a few silver rings on right now. I think, like, one. I think this one's... No? Is this gold? Yeah, this is gold. I literally rarely wear... So, like, the fact that this is silver is, like, stressing me out. Like, I don't ever wear silver. My earrings are gold. Do you live on Instagram? I never have before. I kind of want to see what would happen. Gold fits you so well. I think so too. I think it just like matches my aesthetic. Like silver just has never looked right on me. Do I play soccer? I used to. I played my whole life. I miss it. What's your song right now? What song like have I been playing on repeat? Bieber's new album is pretty good right now. I've been playing that. I've also been playing Madison Beer's new album like a lot because it's pretty good. Who's my favorite celebrity? I don't really have one. There's so many good ones. Like, I could break you a list right now. I love JB. I love JB. If anybody knows me, they know how much I love JB. Are you planning to move? Not anymore. Have you ever been... No. Soccer position. So I played striker for a while. Then I moved to mid. And then when we got more intense, like, and started doing different patterns and playing different... I don't know why I'm like forgetting what you even call them. Like, but like playing the field differently. I switched to a hybrid mid, which kind of just meant that I sat back a little bit more. So I played like more of the center of the field, if that makes sense. Are you not going anymore? Liv just needs her time. I don't want to keep saying too much about it. Like, it's not really my place to say anything. But yeah, she's just doing her own thing. That's fine. I love her to death. I just want her to be happy. My keep up record? Oh, I couldn't tell you. I have no idea. It's been a very long time. Do we still speak? Yeah, of course. The 1975, oh my god, I literally have like 3 of their records like over my little record basket. Favorite soccer team? U.S. Women's National. What time is it? 11:30. Alright, I think I'm gonna get off. Like I said, I'm gonna remind you one more time, my merch is on my Instagram story and the link is in my bio here. If you would like to check it out, please do. I really appreciate it. Even if you just look at it, see if you like it. But yeah, like I said, if you do end up buying some, like either if you get a beanie, you get a shirt, get a sweatshirt, whatever it is, post your guys' confirmations on your story so I can repost them because I really like to like see like who's buying them and I get all excited. So I love you guys. I had to burp, sorry. You guys are the best. Tobin Heath. I had to think about that. Someone asked me who my favorite U.S. Women's National player was. Tobin Heath, Alex Morgan, which is like basic, but like, yeah. All right. See ya.